Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome to Flames Reaction channel. So today's video, I am going to react Roxanne Shante. And with that being said, make sure y'all hit that like, comment, and that subscribe button. And let's go ahead and check out this quick interview and some of Roxanne Shante.
A3C Atlanta. We're here with Roxanne Shante, a legend in this game. Now, not only are you a legend in hip hop, but I know that you left hip hop to do a little psychiatry, psychology. So I gotta ask, because I've been to a lot of psychiatrists, does cognitive therapy really work, or is it a combination of both the medication and therapy?
I think I mainly would like to say that it may have to take a combination of both, because sometimes what we do is if someone is diagnosed with something such as schizophrenia, that certain requirements you do need to have certain medications for it. And then some people just get a bad case of hip hop, and that just requires a little DMX therapy.
DMX therapy. But a lot of people don't believe in like medication and all that. They say it's all psychosomatic. Like you can't, like it's not brain chemicals and all that going down. So you're primarily a psychologist. You can't prescribe anything.
Well, you know what? The fact is, I did do pre-med studies because I was going to be a psychiatrist before I decided that I wanted to just go ahead and be a psychologist and deal with things more so on a one-on-one basis. But overall, there are certain chemical imbalances in the brain that do require some adjustment, where certain prescriptions are required. So I wouldn't agree with someone who says, "Oh no, I think that that's just something that's made up," when there are actually some things that we cannot control.
I take a lot of Xanax. Do you find that it's bad outside of like anxiety disorder if you take it with alcohol and all that? Also,
Well, I mean, well, if you take a lot of Xanax, then you really shouldn't need any alcohol. Because if you're taking a lot of Xanax, then you should get the effects you want with just the Xanax. So you might as well save your money on the alcohol, because in all reality, you're probably just feeling the effects of the Xanax.
you still rapping now? Obviously, you're doing the A3C thing.
It takes a project that I feel strongly about for me to participate, especially when it comes to me picking up a microphone. And no, I don't always pick one up, even though I stand in front of one. I would say about maybe twice a week. I rank number 3 in keynote speakings as far as universities go throughout the United States. I'm like right behind Al Gore, which is something that's not highly publicized, but it is what it is. But I'm also
So modest.
I think being humble is a good trait. Kind of, sorta. Kind of, sorta.
Well, so you're doing keynote speaking. What's that about? You going to different colleges talking on hip hop, or you talking on?
Yeah, what we do is I cover everything from life situations to hip hop. So there's a lot that is involved and covered in my keynote. I tend to speak a lot in layman terms, so it's not, I don't take it to a higher plane or anything like that. I keep it kind of grounded, and I think that's why the students flock in to come see it, because they can really relate. Like, we talk about everything from the first year on campus to how it's going to feel to go out into the quote unquote real world and have to deal with certain things, and certain things that they deal with throughout the day to day basis of just being able to get their degrees, and how hard it is, but then how lucky they are.
Now, your experience, of course, is very different. At 14, you kind of blew up with Roxanne's Revenge going at UTFO. So, what was it like compared to, like the stories you hear from kids that you're working with, compared to, when you were coming up at 14 and you got a record deal, you're putting out a 12-inch that, selling all over the United States?
Well, I don't compare my lifestyle to anyone's ever, because I know that it was extraordinary. Like, I know for a fact that it was definitely an extraordinary life. I mean, so much so that they felt that it needed to become a movie. But but I also feel that people can take from my experiences and learn a lot from them, because it wasn't always a good experience. I started making records at 14, but my first royalty check came from a country song. I had never received a hip hop royalty check. Never. Yeah. I had actually wrote country records, and yeah.
That's reaching right there.
It is what it is. I mean, I think the struggle can be reached everywhere. Yeah. So, I mean, the struggle is the struggle. So, if someone sees the lyrics to a song and they relate to that, it can just spread from genre to genre. So, I think it's a really good thing.
Really interesting. Last question before we wrap up here. I mean, how do you make that switch from being in hip hop to doing psychology? Was there like a defining moment or something that made you decide that you weren't going to do hip hop as much as you were before? Or you can do country western?
No, I think hip hop is psychology. I think hip hop was the perfect prerequisite for psychology because you deal with so many, different people, and sometimes you just want to know what makes people tick. And I think that's the reason why lyricists are the way they are, especially when it comes to people who write songs with content. Yeah. So I would say that hip hop was the perfect prerequisite for psychology.
What do you think about like a 50 Cent or a lot of stuff that's being played in the mainstream that may not be that positive, coming from a psychological point of view? You might actually be able to speak on this.
Well, I don't agree with all the content, but I do agree with young black men being very successful and letting that be visioned and seen by the public for people to more so vision it for what it is. And I also understand the struggle and why people do put out the lyrics they do. If you are, you can only speak about what you live if you are going to put out that type of record. So sometimes they're gonna rhyme about being shot up, and then the next time they're gonna rhyme about purchasing Lamborghinis. If you got shot up and now you're purchasing Lamborghinis, it is what it is.
But the whole IMUS and all that went down there, putting the spotlight on hip hop, this is totally, you think, probably pretty ridiculous.
I think people are always going to put the spotlight on hip hop because they always need something else to blame other than what the real reason is.
Yeah. There it is. Thank you very much, Roxanne.
All right, y'all. That's it for this video, and I'm out. Peace.